Hello, welcome to this video on previous tutor. We'll be looking at transport in plant biology. So we have transport structures. I'm saying flowering plants have a system of vessels that runs up and down the plant's carrying materials. These vessels are called vesicular tissues, and the vesicular tissues, there are two. So we have one, which is the xylem, and the second one is the phloem. So the xylem, they're saying this is a long hollow tube stretching from the root to the leaf, and it's made up of many dead cells. What's the function of the xylem? It is to conduct water and dissolve the mineral salts. So water and the mineral salts are carried by the xylem from the roots to the stems and leaves. It also provides mechanical support for the leaf or a plant. While a phloem, it consists of many sheath tubes and companion cells. So take note of the companion cell. They ask about it. Companion cell, it supplies energy. So companion cell, it provides energy to the cell, to the same flow. Now it conducts or it transports manufactured food, sucrose and amino acid from the green part of the plant to the other parts of the plant. Sheath tubes have degenerated protoplasma. Remember, protoplasma is cytoplasma, the cell membrane, and the nucleus that is connected between the sheath tubes, which are kept alive by companion cells. So companion cells, they keep these sheath tube cells alive by providing energy. Now this is a view of a dichotomous stem. Now let me just simplify it like this. I just pick to one of these two there. Now what is here on top, right, is a phloem. And what is inside that's a xylem. Then the mid one, that's what we call the cambium. They all have functions. Now the all three, phloem, cambium, and xylem, we call it vesicular bundle. So let's look at the structure of a dichotomous root. The one that we looked at, it was a stem. Now a root looks like this, though it is still a vesicular bundle. How is water uptake? The absorption of water occurs mainly through the root hair cells. You must know that. Root hairs only exist in the root hair zone, immediately behind the root cap. So if you have seen something like this, something which is usually drawn like this, like that, so, and this side just got things like that. This is a root hair, right? The root hairs, it absorbs water. This is a root cap. The root hairs are these. So this is the root hair cell. So it absorbs water from the ground. So each root hair is projection of an epidermal cell, which will live for only a few days. Root hairs are adapted for the absorption of water and mineral salts because, so what are some of the things that allows this root hair to perform its function? One is the total surface area for absorption is large. Once there's a right surface area, the cell is going to absorb more water as possible to accommodate the nutritional value for the plant. The cell sap is more concentrated than the soil water. Since root hairs are living, they can respire and provide energy for active transport. So there are what we call, there is a plenty of mitochondria that supplies energy with the cell. What is transpiration? Transpiration is the loss of water vapor from the internal tissues of the living plants through the lenticels and also the stomach. Water evaporates from cells surrounding the intercellular spaces. Water vapor collects in the intercellular spaces before they escape into the atmosphere through the stomata and the lenticels. What are factors affecting transpiration? One of them is light intensity. How does light intensity affect the transpiration? Transpiration is greater in light than in darkness. So when you're asked to say how does, for example, how does light intensity affect the rate of transpiration, don't just say the positive side, but you have to show also the negative side. If you say light intensity, high light intensity, for example, say high light intensity, it increases, let's say, increases the rate of transpiration. This is positive. This is something positive. We also talk about low light intensity. What does it do? Decreases this. So you have to talk on both sides, not just weighing on the other side alone. Your atmospheric pressure, as temperature increases, the rate of transpiration also what increases. So here they have combined pressure and temperature. So when temperature increases, there's a high rate of transpiration. When temperature decreases, there's a low rate of transpiration. Humidity. You need to know that humidity is the amount of water vapor present in the atmosphere. So if there is more water in the atmosphere, that means when there is high humidity, there will be low transpiration, because remember, transpiration is the loss of water into the atmosphere. So when there is much water in the atmosphere, let me do this. So when there's high water in the atmosphere, let's say this is the atmosphere, and there's more water there's more water, and here is a plant losing water. So when there's more water here, the plant is not going to lose more water. So there will be reduced rate of transpiration when there's high humidity. But when there's low humidity, that means there's less water in the atmosphere. So a plant is capable of losing much water into an atmosphere. So that's all about transpiration. Let's go to translocation. Translocation is the movement of dissolved substances through the vascular tissues of plant parts. Now, we know that after the food has been manufactured through the process of photosynthesis, how does it move? So it moves through the process of translocation. So after food has been manufactured from the green part of the plant, it is taken to different parts of a plant. All right. So it's taken to different parts of the plant. The process is translocation. Now they're saying dissolved substances are translocated from the site of synthesis in the leaves and the site of absorption in the roots to other parts of the plant which need them. So the translocation transports the manufactured food here to different parts which need food. How does water move through the stem? Water enters the root from the cell via osmosis. So now you need to know that water is a special type of solvent. It's a universal solvent. And once you start hearing about water, start thinking of osmosis. Now osmosis is just a special type of diffusion. It's just a special type of diffusion, which is only, they call it special because it only deals with one molecule, and that's water. As water pressure in the cell of the cortex increases, what happens? Water is forced to enter the xylem tissue. So let's go, this is a stem, and there's a ground. So water is coming from the ground and it's moving like that. So there is what to call, there's pressure here, which is against the walls here of the stem as water is moving up like that. Now as water pressure in the cell increases, when pressure increases, water now is forced to rise up a tube like that. So that's what we call capillarity. Continual movement of water into the root hairs causes the water to rise up the xylem tissues into the stem, and root pressure decreases. So there's what we call the root pressure, the pressure due to the roots forcing water to rise up like that. Water rise up the xylem vessel due to capillary action, like I said. So here we've got root pressure, things that accompany the movement of water. We have the capillary action. Also have osmosis. Transpiration poo as well. Is the main force that draws water and minerals up the plant. So this is a main force that forces water to move up, also mineral. So water, also mineral salts or other minerals to move up the plant. Water from the xylem vessel will leave the vessel for the mesophyll cell. So that's a summary about transpiration, translocation, the vesicular bundle, movement of water, absorption of water in a plant. So thank you so much. If you love this video, I really like if you can subscribe, share, and like it. See you in the next video.